Welp, I had to do a build against one of the biggest juggernauts on YouTube. Stay tuned, this is our attempt to outbuild Linus from Linus Tech Tips right here on Robeytech. It's Intel Gamer Days, folks, and when Newegg and Intel approached me about doing a build off against someone, you know what, I was ready to take on the challenge, come on. Until they dropped who I would be building off against. When I was told it would be Linus Sebastian himself, the man with billions of views and literally thousands of builds under his belt, was I really ready for that? Now luckily, having interacted with the guy a number of times on Twitter, and even having him hang out on our live show, honestly, he's a super stand-up dude. Albeit the wearing the socks and sandals thing, mind you. But instead of focusing on the incredible builds he has done in his dynasty on YouTube and all the other platforms he's on, I decided to embrace it and build a machine worthy of this competition. So first, let's talk about the ground rules. Number one, we had to spec out, order, and build a PC using the Newegg PC Builder, which you can actually check out our link down below. 2, it had to cost under $5,000 before taxes and shipping. And by the way, the GPUs were counted at MSRP on Newegg, so yeah, no overinflated GPU prices. Number 3, no custom cooling, case fabrication, or vinyl wrapping. This was all about pure PC building skill. Number 4, we were allowed to paint, and oh boy, did we paint. And 5, finally, because this is an Intel Gamers Day build, it had to use the Intel i9-11900K. Now here is the awesome part, guys. We will be releasing these builds out into the wild for you, the fans, to vote on who did it better. Is it Linus, the Titan from the north whose PCs are strengthened by the winter of Canada and cooled by the Arctic cold waters of the polar ice caps, which, if he was wearing this awesome Robeytech logo New Era jacket, would make the winters more bearable, and you can get yours at robeytechstore.com. Or is it Robeytech, the tech dad of Seattle, who was emboldened by the passion of PC gaming and brings joy to millions with his top tier, okay fine, albeit second tier dad jokes. Now based on your choice, the channel that built the better PC will be given a Gigabyte Aero 15-inch gaming laptop powered by an RTX 3080 and an i7 11800H, which we can choose to give away in any form that we want. On top of that, guess what? We'll be giving away both of the PCs that Linus and I built and created. So, frankly, honestly, they just better not suck. So what could I do? What would be the build that could topple the Titan of the North? Well, I had to go nerd, and I had to go origin story. So for those of you who don't know, Robeytech sounds a little bit like a little anime that played on Saturday morning cartoons during the golden age of Robey's childhood. Yes, we had TVs. Come on, guys, I am not that old. Ladies and gentlemen, for our Robeytech versus Linus submission, we introduce to you the Robeytech Origins build. Enjoy. There it is. Voila. Okay, I gotta say, that build came out so sick. It took so much work, and we had a ton of airbrushing. I mean, we couldn't use vinyl, so everything that you see on that case was airbrushed with love and hand polished. Everything about it. The graphics on the stuff, I mean, the graphics in the AIO, basically the cable management, everything. Every bit of attention to detail was managed to be a true homage to Robeytech and the Veritech fighter that Rick Hunter piloted, and at the very core of what birthed the original branding for Robeytech when we started it just at 2 years ago. But it's not just all about looks. Let's talk about the parts as well. At the core, we have the Intel i9 11900K sitting with 8 cores and 16 threads. This is the latest flagship processor from Intel. Continuing with the all-white aesthetic, we put this flagship inside of the Asus ROG Strix Z590A gaming Wi-Fi motherboard. For storage, we only had a single 1TB black SN750, yes I know, but remember we had a budget. Now, continuing with our white theme, where we're using the Corsair Vengeance RGB Pro SL, 32 gigs of RAM at 3600 MHz. We had white Corsair QL120 fans throughout, and we had that absolutely awesome and beautiful Asus ROG Strix 850G in all white. We also custom painted and custom graphic that NCXT Z73 AIO radiator and cold plate housing to keep with the aesthetic, and finally topping it off like a cherry on a sundae with a stunning unicorn of a graphics card, the all-white Asus ROG Strix RTX 3090. And we house the whole thing inside of the Cougar Conquer 2, which is custom painted with ridiculous detail after Rick Hunter's Veritech fighter from my favorite childhood anime cartoon series, Robeytech. Robeytech, Robeytech. Robeytech, Robeytech. Coincidence? Let's hope Harmony Gold thinks so. So there you've seen it, our build. But guess what? I have Linus's build queued up. I haven't seen it. You're gonna watch me talk about it live, and you're gonna see what he submitted for this competition. Ladies and gentlemen, moment of truth. May I present Linus Tech Tips Build for the Build-Off. Oh snap! Wow, they put my logo on it. Huge. Wow, wait, that is awesome. Obviously, the whole case is painted in that awesome silver, and I love how they highlighted the orange and red triangles on the front of the fractal case to just kind of feel like our brands are integrated. Dude, I gotta admit, this is really cool, and not what I was expecting at all by merging our two universes. Like, I did something that was crazy and like, you know, just like over the top, and this is almost like a labor of love, which is super good. Whoa, wait, did he also put my logo on the front too? Like going over the fractal? Dude, that is awesome. Well, there it is. And it's up to you guys, who did it better, Linus or me? Guys, I gotta admit, this is not an easy competition. We built something custom and crazy. Linus built something of like love and collaboration. And both of those are very different. So which one appeals to you? Check the link down in the description below to both vote, oh, and also to enter to win this, as well as 3 other PCs that Newegg and Intel are giving away as part of Intel Gamer Days. And make sure that you tell us which one of these 2 is your favorite build. And also, you can check out Linus's reaction to our build by checking out the video, also linked down below. Now guys, you've seen both builds, but what you haven't seen yet is how our build performs. So why don't we kick it off? Let's check it out. First, thermals. This is an 11900K cooled by an NZXT Z73 AIO in the Cougar Conquer 2 case in what I would consider a neutral configuration, given we have 4 fans for intake and 4 fans for exhaust in what would be considered an open air case. Starting off with our CPU, when at idle, we saw a nice and healthy and cool temperature at 33 in both the closed and open case scenario. We kicked things off and throttled this puppy a bit. Again, nothing to be concerned about with temperatures jumping to the high 80s when our CPU is under load at 100% for over half an hour. Now, plenty of headroom for any overclocking, and of course, well above what you would see when you're gaming. For GPU, it's a very similar story. When under idle, we saw some nice quality low temperatures in the mid 40s in both open and closed cases. Now, when we started rendering our favorite Linus Tech Tips memes, I'm just kidding, we weren't doing that. We were basically running a bunch of benchmarks for long periods of time to get that temperature up. Again, nothing crazy though. We basically saw it in the low 70s under load. Great numbers, and again, more than enough headroom for both gaming and any additional overclocking you may want to do to that sweet CPU if you want to fancy a go. Okay, great. This Robeytech Origins PC did great from a thermal standpoint. How will this PC, if you were to win, actually perform in games? Well, I'm glad you asked. First up, for single-player RTX experiences, this is for an Intel 11th Gen 11900K paired with an Asus RTX 3090 Strix. For Tomb Raider running at 1440p with DLSS on high and high presets, we saw an average frame rate of 174 FPS across the runs we did in our game. For Metro Exodus, also running at 1440p, running with ray tracing on high, DLSS set to balance, we saw an average frame rate of 93.56 FPS. Awesome to see almost 100 frames per second on Metro. And for our AMD optimized experiences, first up we saw Dirt 5 running at 1440p with ultra high graphic settings. We saw an average frame rate of 147 FPS, more than good enough for some solid racing. Lastly, and rounding out the single player experiences, was Borderlands 3. Running with the highest graphical preset, we saw an average frame rate of 119 FPS. Again, super solid. So what about MP? How is it going to do at that? Well, for Apex Legends, running at low visual settings at 1440p, optimizing for competitive gameplay and high FPS, we saw an average frame rate of 277 frames per second across our multiple game sessions. For Call of Duty Warzone on low visual settings, again 1440p set for competitive, who cares? We couldn't tell you because they decided to block it, so yeah. It was good, it was fast, but Lord knows how, because they won't let us know. So thanks, Activision. Now finally, for Fortnite at 1440p on low visual settings, set for competitive, crushing, and I do mean crushing, that 360 FPS coming in at over 400 frames per second. Well, 400.1, but still over 400, that's nice. Well, there you go. The final reveal of the Robeytech Origins PC and our little entry into the PC build-off against Linus. You've seen both the PCs, and now it's up to you to vote. Who built it better, and which channel is going to get that awesome laptop to give away in the manner of their choice. Now use the link down in the description below to not only vote, but to win one of 4 systems that are being given away as part of the celebration with Newegg and Intel for Intel Gamer Days. Also check out Linus's reveal video. Again, his reaction to my system, and where you can see the link to that is down in the description below. Now I want to thank Newegg and Intel for allowing Linus and I the opportunity to participate in this awesome build-off. I also really want to thank Linus not only for the awesome homage, but even giving us a chance and an opportunity to collaborate with them in the first place. Linus, seriously, from a small guy, thank you. So what did you guys think of our builds? Do you think we have a winner? Even if it's not an official vote, I would love to know your thoughts down in the comments below. Now while you're down there, make sure you slap that subscribe button, whip that like button, and ring that notification bell so you get a notification each and every time we either go live or post a video right here on Robeytech. Speaking of that, we have a live show. That's right, we have a live show. You can interact with us live. It's every Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday, starting at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time, and it's both over here on YouTube as well as over on Twitch. Want to talk about builds? Want to basically talk about the best tech? All of that stuff and more over on our Discord server. Make sure you join us there. Have you seen this super sweet swag? You can pick it up over at robeytechstore.com. We have hats, we have jackets, we have those awesome limited edition beard comb shirts. So get it while it's hot and while it lasts. Lastly, check out robeytechdeals.com where we have all the latest deals trying to make your PC build or your tech shopping experience that much cheaper. Also, you can follow us on all the socials at Robeytech, Instagram, TikTok, you name it. The only place we're not at yet is Tinder, but be honest, would you swipe right? Would you? Anyway guys, we hope you enjoyed this video and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.